Well, here we go then. Strap yourselves in. You're witnessing the Wagnerlution and you're going to be watching it on the TNC watch along. Welcome back, everyone. Jack Reeve, Talk Norwich City. So good to be joined by all of you. Got Norwich Coventry on the screen just ahead of me, sat here on my sofa, posture feeling good. Norwich City looking good as well at the moment. If you haven't joined before, welcome along. This is a lovely little community to watch the game with. Hopefully, we see Norwich City pick up 3 points today away at Coventry. I know plenty of the Canaries faithful have travelled. Probably one of the easier games to get to, Coventry, isn't it? On an early Saturday, not too far away. But those of you that haven't, welcome along. Let's see where you're all tuning in from. I'm already seeing lots of people tuning in from out of the country. Keenan says, hi from Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm from Norwich originally. Jeff tuning in all the way from frosty Michigan. Welcome along, Jeff. So good to have you with us. Matty says, yay, watch along. Indeed. Is Chris turning up this time? No, don't think so. Chris is in the process of moving house at the moment, and incredibly, that takes priority, which is disappointing for all of us, isn't it? Or not, depending on what you think of Chris. Welcome to James, tuning in from York. Another fine city, York. Not quite as fine as Norwich, but can't have it all. Where else are we? Christopher, brilliant to see you, my friend. 5:30 wake up from Calgary. My goodness, that's commitment. Yeah, those the early games in the UK probably not helping those of you across the pond, is it? Craig, is Chris banned for his comments about Pookie? Well, Craig, it's funny you mentioned this. We went to the fan channel disciplinary hearing, and Chris has been banned for 3 games for inflammatory comments regarding the GOAT. So yes, Chris is banned from TNC for the considerable few weeks, and we'll welcome him back on when he's not slandering Norwich City heroes. So we'll see. Tuning in from sunny Tenerife. My goodness, how the other half live, hey? I'm here in actually a rather sunny Norfolk, which is glorious. Archie says at least if he's moving house, he won't break another light. Well, you never know. If the Wagnerlution gains momentum, then you never know. Lights may be broken in the process. William, my good. Cyprus. We've got Tenerife, Calgary, Michigan, Texas, Cyprus. International Canaries tuning in today. Pookie with another brace, says William. Yeah, it's an unchanged lineup from David Wagner. I think that's probably expected. I mean, it would have been a bold call to drop anyone after the 4-0 thumping of Preston North End last week. So yeah, you can't really moan too much about it. I think the only one that maybe could have been up for debate was Tim Krul, but equally pulled off a few really good saves and kept a clean sheet. So even that was going to be a bold call if he was to drop him, and he didn't. Hey, Lauren. Hello. How are you? Feeling a big fat win. Come on, you yellows. You know what? I'm feeling confident today. Coventry are a fascinating side because they started the season so poorly, but I think a lot of that was probably down to off-field uncertainty. It's all calmed down a little bit now for them off the field. They've actually been able to play games when they're meant to play games, which helps. But they're a good side. They've got Guy Carez up front, who's a really exceptional footballer. I think Hamer and Sheaf in the middle of the park are really decent at this level and can do damage. And a couple of other good players in there as well. So this isn't going to be easy today. I think this will be a far tougher challenge than we saw against Preston. They're managed by Mark Robbins, one of the league's best managers, in my opinion. So this isn't going to be easy. Mystery says, where's Chris? Chris has been banned from TNC for inflammatory comments towards TV Pookie and won't be appearing on the channel for the next few weeks as he serves a touchline ban. Yeah, all good here, Lauren. Thank you very much. Done my park run this morning. Did my 50th park run. I'm on day 21 of 5K runs consecutively, running 5K a day in January for mine. So my hips and my knees feeling a little bit tender at the moment. sort of feeling like Tim Closer after a heavy challenge, just feeling a bit fragile. So nice to just sit on my sofa and watch the boys in yellow. Get your score predictions in. We're about to kick off here, 12:30 kick-off. I think they're a minute late at Coventry. Thankfully, unlike the last watch-along I did against Blackburn, when everyone was just asking, how are you watching the game? How are you watching the game? Well, today's game is on Sky Sports. So if you've got Sky, you're sorted. If you haven't got Sky, you're probably not watching this and you're down the pub. We are off and we are underway. My telly is like up there. So apologies. I am looking at all of this stuff. Lots and lots and lots of Norwich winning predictions. Good afternoon, Paul. I hope you're well, my friend. Tom saying 3-1 Norwich. Lots of 3-1 predictions. I think you're right. I think both teams will score in this game. Mark Robbins, this is his 600th game in charge as a manager. That's remarkable. Timu Pukki nearly set away there by Grant Hanley. I think this is going to be a midfield battle today. I think we're going to see Hamer and Ben Sheaf up against Gabriel Sara and Kenny McLean. And I think whoever wins that battle will probably come out on top in this game. So good to have you all along. It's always nice watching the game with people in the comments. As Coventry stride forwards here down the right-hand side in a crossing position, delivers. But that's a really nice interception from Kenny McLean, who's been brilliant, hasn't he, the last couple of weeks? Nice to see Kenny in a role that he likes. Nice to see Kenny valued. And nice to see him doing well. He deserves to. Big thank you to Christian for the super chat. You can leave a super chat. You can help support the channel. There's a little dollar sort of sign at the comment section. If you click on that, you can leave anything, I think, from 70 to 9p up to whatever. Christian says 3-0 Pukki party. I hope so, mate. I hope so. That would be lovely, wouldn't it? I think today feels like a litmus test. You know, last week was hit the ground running, happy days, everything went for us. This week is going to be more of a test. If we get through today's test, then you really can start to dream, I think. But look, we can't get too carried away, he says after claiming that we're winning the league on the TNC podcast last week. But, you know, we need to just settle in, I think, a little bit. But welcome along to the show, Christian. I hope you're well, my friend. Someone said, have you lost much weight with the running? Well, not only have I been doing 5K a day, I've also, I'm doing dry January. And for anyone that knows me, I have put on a bit of timber over the last couple of years. Predominantly through beer. Like, I don't even eat that much food, but I do drink quite a lot. I actually love beer. So that's probably been a bigger help than the running, to be honest. Yeah, I think I've lost six kilos, which is just under a stone, I think. So I probably needed to. But yeah, thanks for asking. I'm not sure if it's noticeable. Probably not. Jerry Cross, have you got an infamous toilet break in you today, Jack? Probably, mate. I've got a cuppa in my old school. Heroes will remember the breakfast with TNT mug. Give that little sip. Yeah, tea goes straight through. Anything goes straight through me, to be honest. if we're being honest with each other here, and we always score when I go to the loo. So, well, actually, I went to the loo last time, didn't I? And we didn't score. As Norwich come forward, it's a lovely ball from Kieran Dowell. Timu Pukki's away. He's tripped. Looks like he's the last man there. That was a really lovely ball. I think it was from Kieran Dowell. He's played in Timu Pukki, and Bidwell's just gone, I don't want to be in a foot race with Timu. And it's just brought him down. Probably not the last man. He was going wide, but that will be a booking for Jake Bidwell. No, maybe a bit unfortunate. It wasn't a venomous challenge. They just kind of caught the legs. But that was a really lovely bit of movement from Timu Pukki. It was played in from I think it was Kieran Dowell. Nice early signs from Norwich City. And I think that's where we looked dangerous last week. Pukki off the shoulder. God, that gets me going. Really like that from Norwich early on here. Soaked up a little bit of pressure and then bang on the counter-attack. And we've looked good doing that away from home this season. Even under Dean Smith, there are a couple of occasions where Pukki kind of got in on the counter. Remember Blackpool away being one of them. Free kick here, dangerous position. Gabriel Sara and Kieran Dowell over it. I'm sure you know because you're probably watching. But let's see what's happens here. Probably not really within shooting range, but Sarah will hit it and it's straight into the wall and it goes out for a corner. Nice early start from Norwich. 4 minutes, 37 seconds on the clock. Would you ever do a fitness vlog / progress video? I don't know. Probably not. Like, I like my running and I like my running. I'm not overly keen on the gym. Like, if I'm being frank, I like playing squash. I do a few little bits to stay fit. I don't know. I think it gets really dangerous when you start comparing your body with other people, because we're all built differently and we're all, you need different things from your body. Like, realistically, I don't need to be incredibly muscular because I work behind my computer all day. So as long as my brain's ticking, that's all I need. No, probably not. I'm on Strava, though, if you want to follow my running. If you're on Strava, head over there. Let's have a look. 18 holes will keep me fit. Yeah, I play. Oh, it's a goal! It's a goal! It's Grant Hanley! Norwich are leading! And it's Grant Hanley, just as I was talking about goal. 5 minutes on the clock. And Wagner's at the wheel, baby. Here we go. Grant Hanley. Oh, yes, it was a corner. I must say, I wasn't really watching. Slabhead Hanley. Let's have a look at this. It's a corner. Oh, Alan Russell's set-piece army. It's flicked in, and it just falls to Hanley. And guess what? He scores. Norwich lead 1-0. Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant start for the Canaries. We are off to an absolute flyer. Grant Hanley. Get in there. That is brilliant. There is a little shirt pull. Oh, no, it's an own goal. It's an own goal. I don't think it is Slabhead. I was wondering why there wasn't too much of a celebration there. I think that's going to go down as an own goal. But it was a nice set piece. And I must say, defending set pieces, we've been far better at this season. Attacking them, I haven't seen much of a difference. But we have seen Kenny McLean very often, attack the front post. And he gets a little flick on there, and Slabhead Hanley's in. Look, is it time to start getting carried away at this stage? Oh, brilliant. Grant Hanley with, I don't know if it's going to go down as a goal. Is his goal. It's coming up on my phone as a Grant Hanley goal. It'll be interesting to see if that stands as Kenny McLean plays one forward. These types of goals we haven't scored enough of this season. Corners, free kicks, penalties. And that will be the difference in these types of games very often. These games are often very tight. Look, we will create corners. We will create set-piece opportunities, and we just haven't been taking them. That's a really promising sign. And they're the types of things, when your luck's in, your luck's in. I'm not sure if that actually came off Hanley. I think it was an own goal. I haven't got the commentary on. In another game under Dean Smith, it probably bounces the other way. But on this situation, it bounces straight into the net. It is incredible how different Norwich City look under David Wagner. They're so much more energetic. They're so much higher in the press. They're creating so many more chances. And that's a really nice touch. Clap for Amber, who very, very sadly passed away last week at the age of 8, I think. Big Norwich City fan. She was fan of the season winner last season. So a real sad moment. I hope that Amber's family and everyone are okay, because that's such devastating news, isn't it? So nice to see the whole of the Coventry Stadium, what was the Rico, wasn't it? I think it's named something different now. Clapping for Amber. We'll have a little clap as well. Nice touch from Norwich and Coventry fans as well. Russell, good to see you, my friend. How are things? Yeah, very good start. Very, very good start. Norwich leading this one 1-0. I think it was an own goal, although we'll give it to Slabhead because why not? Norwich just look so different, so incredibly different under David Wagner than they did Dean Smith. It's a remarkable turnaround. Look, Norwich need to stay tight. They need to improve in certain areas. I still think that, but a remarkable turnaround in just a couple of weeks. And I think I think it's going to actually really work out that the Birmingham fixture in a couple of, or is it next week, a couple of weeks' time. Just watching this goal again. Yeah, that's definitely an own goal. It's not slab-head handy, unfortunately. I've just chucked my tea everywhere. Hang on. I think it's going to really work out, that Birmingham fixture being postponed because of their FA Cup duties. So it means another week on the training ground for David Wagner. Norwich stride forwards again here. It's 4-1. And Onel Hernandez is through on goal. Oh, it's a terrible touch, Hernandez. Go, it's in! It's 2-0! Oh! Onel Hernandez! Oh, yes! 2-0! The Wagnerlution is underway and it cannot be stopped. This is dreamland stuff from Norwich City Football Club. Norwich 2, Coventry 0. It is a brilliant bit of play from Timu Pukki down the right, and suddenly it's 4-1. It's a ball over from Kieran Dowell. He finds Onel Hernandez. It's a terrible first touch, but he finds a way back in, sneaks it under the goalkeeper, and Norwich are winning this one in the 10th minute by 2-0. Can we see another thumping in the Championship? Oh my goodness me. What a start against Coventry. Onel Hernandez deserves the goal. He was so good last week. He's had a tricky season. He's had a tricky couple of seasons. But you know he's got a goal in him. Look, I've been critical of Onel. He needs more assists and he needs more goals. But that is exactly how you silence your critics, by scoring. And Norwich are leading 2-0 away at Coventry. So good to have you all all in on the stream. Carl Ollie says, I think the major difference between Smith and Wagner is the mentality. We look mentally broken. Yeah, hard to disagree. I think there's a bit of that. Confidence is a huge thing in football. Like, you just need a convincing win. And a 4-0 win against Preston will give you some confidence. And 2 goals in 10 minutes away at Coventry will do exactly that as well. What a fantastic start this has been from the Canaries. An own goal, what we thought was initially a Grant Hanley goal, but that will definitely go down as an own goal. And Onel Hernandez back on the score sheet. Look, we said on the podcast, didn't we, that we might be seeing the all aboard hats out again soon. My goodness, if it continues like this, it'll be more than hats. Norwich will return back into the playoffs with a win here, at least temporarily until the 3 o'clock kickoffs. But my word, what a start this has been for David Wagner's side against a good Coventry side. I think it has to be said. That was a really nice bit of play from Norwich in the lead up to that goal. It really was. And this is an incredible start for Norwich City. Literally screamed, says Lauren. Me too. Me too. I thought the touch had put him away from goal and the chance had gone, but he found the way to get his shot away. Oh, superb. Oh, and I think, is that an injury to Gyökeres? He's holding what looks like his... Oh, no, it's a poor... Oh, no. Oh, Tim Krul. Dodgy kick there from Timmy. Opportunity for Coventry, but still 2-0 to Norwich City at the moment. Welcome to all of you in here. This is brilliant. This is so much fun, isn't it? I mean, we've put ourselves through some troublesome times in recent months and years with Norwich City. But when you're watching them play like this in the Championship, it's just huge amounts of fun. It really is. Oh, this is great. If you also, I'm going to go through some tweets now. If you tweet your setup of you watching, I'll make sure that I get those retweeted. And yeah, share the love. This is brilliant. Let's get through some of these comments, shall we? Damon says, I thought a 5-1 prediction was pushing it. This is going to turn into a cricket score. I think you're right, mate. I bloody hope you're right. Can we beat 4-0? Potentially. Imagine that, starting 4-0 and I don't know, chuck it a 5-0. Why not? Hanley's goal was chalked up an OG. Yeah, it was an OG. It was. I've seen the replay on Sky. It quite clearly, unfortunately, hits the Coventry defender, but Hanley was there. Hanley should get the assist, really. Hanley's positioning and him going for it meant that the defender made the mistake. Beverly Wicks, it's great to have you back. Oh, thanks, Beverly. That's very kind, and it's lovely to be doing these watch-alongs. You know what? I kind of wish I was at Coventry, but it's so lovely to see all of those travelling fans there, and the second best. Oh my God, Tim Krul's kicking has been appalling so far. Gets away with one there. I don't know if it's the sun in his eyes or something, but he needs to stop giving it to the Coventry attackers. As Norwich come forward again here, Timu Pukki, can he get there? Oh, he will get there. Timu's in. Oh, good defending by Coventry. Pukki on the shoulder at this level is a cheat code. It really, really is. It is just so good to see. And Josh Sargent in behind him. Oh, so much to get excited about here. Just 15 minutes on the clock. I feel like I've been doing this for a couple of hours. Kenny McLean striding forwards. At this stage, every time we go forward, we look like we're going to score. Dimi Anulis into Sargent. Room to shoot. Will shoot. Oh, it's just wide. Oh, my goodness. It's nearly 3. Oh, what a save that is from the Coventry goalkeeper. Never trust the goalkeeper with short sleeves, by the way. So much space for Sargent. Just opens his body, hits it, and it's a wonderful save by the Coventry keeper. What a start this is from David Wagner's side. It could have quite easily been 3-0. Wow. Yeah, Wagner's definitely got his wand out today, Damon. He really has. Max Aaron's better than Trent. Yeah, I see Max has been linked with a few clubs. Unsurprisingly, really. I mean, he is a class player, isn't he? I think we'll see it even more so under Wagner. You just hope he stays until the summer, I think. And then I suspect he'll probably leave in the summer. But if we get into the Premier League, you never know. But I think we've got a ready-made backup in Barley Mumba, who's been tearing up for Plymouth in League One. Dubai Canary, the TNC watch-alongs, hand in hand with NCFC success. You know what it is, Dubai Canary, is we could have quite easily done a few watch-alongs for those Dean Smith days. And we did I think we did a couple, didn't we? We did Reading and a few others. But you wouldn't have found any fun. We pick and choose our times, I think, and thankfully at the moment picking them quite well. Christopher says, any word on the Cantwell fee? I don't know, to be honest. I can't imagine, unfortunately, it's going to be much, considering he's not played and the fact he's out of contract in the summer. I saw a video pop up on my Twitter the other day, and I think it was from last year. It wasn't from long ago. Basically, when Villa were interested in Todd Cantwell, and Norwich was saying that nowhere south of 40 million will do. And I think we're going to end up letting him go for about, I don't know, $1 million or $2 million, maybe not even that, $500,000, which is just mental, really. What a ball that is. Pukki's in again. Norwich are cutting Coventry open here. And it's another goal. And it's Josh Sargent. Let's go! 3-0! Oh, my good Lord. This is unbelievable. Norwich City are winning by 3-0, and there's not even 20 minutes on the clock. This is sensational. Unbelievable cutback from, I think it's Timu Pukki, and Josh Sargent's there. This is unbelievable play. So Aarons gets down the right. It's Dimi, I think it's Dimi Anulis. No, it's Gabriel Sara, who plays Timu Pukki. I said to you, Timu Pukki on the shoulder is a joke. Pukki cuts it back. Sargent's there. Sargent finishes. 3-0. Bang! Oh, what a ball from Timu Pukki. This is why Chris has been banned from TNC. There's Coventry fans walking out. There's 17 minutes on the clock. It's not even 1 o'clock and they're going home. What are you going to do for the rest of the day? Watch bloody box sets of Mrs. Brown's Boys. This is remarkable from Norwich City. What we are watching here is title contending form. I mean, you play like this for the rest of the season, and 96 points, 96 goals is very much on the cards. It's just like watching Brazil, mystery. It is. That is road blowing and marvellous, boy. Oh, my goodness. 5.5 times, says Jack. I'm losing my voice. Can you hear? I'll take it, Jack. Actually, no, I wouldn't take it. Pessimistic from you, Jack. I want it to be 6 at half-time. Coventry chance. Coventry goal. Oh, my God. 3-1. This is bonkers. This is absolutely bonkers. Coventry have got one back. We were getting a bit giddy there. That kind of humbles us, doesn't it? This is a sloppy goal to give away. It's a throw-in down the right. It's a high, loopy cross into the box. Aarons doesn't deal with it. Knocked down. 3-1. Settle me down a bit. I was getting very carried away there. I don't know if that's a lucky finish or a very good finish. He sort of cuts across it and it flies into the back of the net. Who got that one for Coventry? 3-1, and there's 20 minutes on the clock. Jamie Allen, the goal scorer there for Coventry. First goal was given as an own goal to Michael Rose. Jamie Allen with his 4th championship goal of the season. Dowell, Pookie with the assists, Sargent and Hernandez with the Norwich goals. The other one. This is a genuinely balmy game. The two teams have been set up and then been told, do not defend at any consequence. Any situation, you do not defend. You just keep going forwards. Woo! APK, playing like this for the rest of the season, not an easy task. One step at a time. Yeah, look, I think the reason this was such an attractive job, it was actually quite a nicely worked goal from Coventry. That not great defending, and I don't think the blaring sunshine helps at all, but not ideal to give away a goal. Not to worry, we're still 3-1 up. I think this is the thing with David Wagner's side. It can get chaotic. Huddersfield famously went up with Wagner with a negative goal difference. Is Chris banned from TNC? Yeah, we've banned him for comments towards Teemu Pukki, slagging off the GOAT. That carries a 3-game ban, I'm afraid. So Chris is banned until further notice. We felt bad for them, says Happy Planker. I like that. I like that from you. Got to be kind to these teams. Otherwise, it'd be nice to keep a nice relationship with Coventry. If you just batter them like 7 or 8, they're not going to like you anymore. We got Madison from Coventry. We got Sam McCallum from Coventry. Nice to see. Krul's got his hat on. Timmy's got his hat on. Hip, 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 hooray. The sun does look very bright at Coventry. And Tim Krul has gone for a black Norwich City cap with a silver canary emblem embroidered by the looks of things. It looks like a classy number. I think that's the hat that David Wagner wears, actually. Always good to see, isn't it? This time of year, keepers in caps. Maybe should have worn a hat from the start. Matt says, hello from nowhere. Where are you from, Matt? You left it off. Tim has nicked Wagner's hat. It does look like that. I think it's the identical one. They must have been going cheap in the club shop. That was what I loved. That was one of my key moments from when we did the podcast with the Atanasios. And the fact that they had to pay for everything in the club shop. He'd just gone and just got everything. Jumpers, dressing gowns, hats, socks, shirts, the lot. And I just assumed because you basically own the football club, you get it for free. But no, he said he took his credit card in and just went mental. This game's a bit scrappy in the last 5 minutes in the middle of the park. I think both teams are fully aware after that chaotic first 20 that they probably need to start defending. But I don't think they have to. I mean, it was very fun when they weren't. Coventry proving a little bit spicy down the right-hand side. But that's really good defending from Dimi and Ulis. Let's get some comments in. Matt SB is a Coventry blogger. Good show. Oh, hello, Matt. How's it going, mate? Mental game this from a Cov fan at the CBS. Norwich fans have been great. Yeah, we've taken a lot, and great to see some people watching from the ground. Yeah, we've taken a lot to Coventry today. I think the Wagnerlution is well and truly underway. I'm just watching this third goal back. It's such good play. It's such good play from Timu Pukki. I just can't underestimate that. He's so good. He's not only scoring goals, but setting them up. He really is a marvel. That was an incredibly pleasing moment, that. Our record win is against Coventry. Is it really? Are we going to better it today? We continue the way we've been starting. There's definitely goals left in this game. I just hope we don't shift another one too quickly, because Coventry are playing some better football here. And what you don't want is to go 3-2. And it might be about to. It is. It's 3-2. Bloody hell. Nora. 25 minutes, Norwich City 3, Coventry 2. If you're just tuning in, you don't need to scratch your eyes here. This game is utter carnage. The Norwich are 3-0 up, and it's now 3-2. Again, I did mention it, didn't I? Problems down the right-hand side. Dimian Ulis just getting caught out. It's a nice ball in. Don't know where our centre-backs are, and it's a cracking finish by Canaries, who's been a very good for Coventry this season. This is balmy. It's a really good finish, actually, from I think it was Canaries, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Canaries on the turn. He finishes well. Could Krul do better? I don't know. Could our defenders do better? Probably. We're still winning. If it continues like this, I think I'm going to need a lie down at half time. There's been 5 goals in 25 minutes. This is ridiculous. Bloody hell. You sum it up right there, mate. What a game. Jesus Christ. What's the record for amount of goals in a Norwich game? Like, has there ever been a 6-5 or a 7-6? Because I think we might have one on our hands at the moment here. Absolutely balmy so far. Well, I did say that I thought both teams would score. I didn't think both teams would score more than 2 goals within the opening 25 minutes. Oh, Nathan says, Big Andy, poor for both goals. Left Max overloaded at the back for the first and then not strong enough for the second. I'd have to watch them back, but someone's obviously not doing their job, and it might well be Big Andy. It was good play from Coventry down that right-hand side. Norwich stride forwards again, and I tell you what, this is another chance, and it's Onel Hernandez! Oh, he should score. Hernandez should score, and it should be 4-2. This is a truly ridiculous game of football. It's Pukki down the left. He finds Hernandez, and this is where Hernandez just lets himself down ever so slightly. He should score from there. He doesn't. The ball just doesn't quite settle for him, and it just goes over the crossbar. Whew. We might need to all be doing some breathing exercises shortly. Onel, oh my God, yeah, Nicholas, I think he should score that. You could even maybe cut it across for Sargent, who's waiting in the middle. He did well to get his first goal away, and that was probably a better chance, that one. But every time, both sides down the right-hand side are getting such joy. And again, back Pukki down the right. It was crossed into Hernandez. Just every time Norwich get the ball, it's like 6 on 5, or even more than that, sort of 6 on 4. It's just men over. I wish I could provide more analysis for this game, but when there's a goal flying in every 5 minutes, it's difficult. Yeah, that's true, Max. Some of the Coventry fans were shifting, weren't they, after 15 minutes, and there's now 2 goals back. Maybe they're flooding back in. I'm just looking back at that second Coventry goal, actually. I don't think it was Canaries that scored. It's another goal that is maybe at first eye is different to what we thought we saw. I have to say, and I know I've said this already, Timu Pukki is a joke at this level. He is so good. He really is, and that's a foul draw on him. Norwich just need to assert some dominance here, and just calm things down, because it's slightly getting out of control, and you don't want to be letting a 3-goal lead slip. Put it that way. Let's see it. Let's see. I think it might have been. It's gone down as a Geico's goal for that second one. I think it may have been. Palmer who actually scored it. Not that it matters. Let's have a look what's going on Twitter, shall we? Let's see if anyone's tweeted in. Wow, it's balmy. It really is balmy. Okay. Fetzi, I don't know if this is true. I think someone's just been kicked in the head there. Both biggest win and defeat scores were 10-2. 10-2, were they? 10-2 win against Coventry and a 10-2 loss against Swindon. Well, it's 3-2 in this one at the moment, and Norwich are striding forwards looking to find a fourth. Kieran Dowell into Max Harris. That's a lovely play down the right-hand side. Max Harris with a crossing opportunity. Can't find his man. It's back out to Kieran Dowell. We'll find Gabriel Sarr on the edge of the box, and he'll hit one and it's blocked. But Kenny McLean mops it back up. Norwich just look so much more proactive going forwards. Just every time they go forwards, it looks like they're creating an opportunity. I tell you what will be I tell you what will disappoint Norwich is that Hernandez second chance. Probably should have scored it. Wow, I'm completely blown away by the start of this one. I told everyone that the game to watch wasn't Liverpool-Chelsea. The game to watch was Coventry-Norwich, and this is why. There's still room for that 10-2 Coventry. We have just another 7 goals, Nicholas, and we'll do it. You know what? If we continue at the rate of goals that we've been going at so far, I think we probably would get to 10, one every 9 minutes. Yeah, we were going more than that. That rate, weren't we? I wouldn't complain about a 10-2 victory. I wouldn't complain about a 10-2. I'm sure there'd still be some people that complain about a 10-2 win that we shouldn't have conceded to. This is at the moment. This game is bordering on impossible to analyse with any real margin, because there's just been such carnage at both ends. We all just need a big deep breath, I think. And there could have been more goals as well. Krul made a couple of errors that could have led to Coventry goals, and Norwich have missed a good few opportunities as well. There could be more. How come I couldn't attend this game? I could have gone. I just chose not to. I've got a few other bits I need to sort tonight, so unfortunately they took priority. And I wanted to join all of you on here. Yeah, I think it was Palmer with the second goal for Coventry. It looked like Geico's had got it. Palmer sort of stole it off him. I really like Hamer for Coventry. I think he's a really solid player. Him and Sheaf have been, I think, really impressive all season. Norwich have been the dominant team over the last 5 minutes since the last goal, and there's another opportunity to cross the ball in here from a set piece. I think it was Yanulis who was fouled on that side, and it will be a ball delivered in, and it's over the top of everyone into the keeper's hands. Wasted opportunity, and now Coventry will find their way forwards. And Casey, it's not Casey Palmer, is it? Is it Casey Palmer? I just completely made that up. Palmer. Yeah, it is Casey Palmer. Casey Palmer's giving Dimi Yanulis all kinds of bother at the moment. And I think that will be a slight concern for Wagner. He's just been really, really good so far. That was poor from Hernandez there, who gave the ball away. It was an opportunity for Coventry, and they probably should have done better. But it was a good header at the back post from Big Andy. Wow, this has been a chaotic fixture so far. Let me know what you've thought. I'm sure you guys can provide a bit more analysis. And you know what? It's quite strange watching a game without the commentary on. I think a lot of opinions are formed with the commentary on quite often. Coventry seemingly just don't want to defend. They're pushing so high up the pitch, and yes, that's giving them numbers going forwards. But when we get the ball and we break the lines, wow, we're really pushing up and finding ourselves outnumbering the Coventry defence time after time. 10 minutes without a goal, Wagner out. I thought there was going to be a stage where there was going to be no period where there wasn't going to be a goal. You can certainly say that, Dubai Canary. My goodness. It certainly has been the most entertaining half of football for a long while. 5 goals in 25 minutes will take some beating. We have now gone 10 minutes without a goal for either side. But it's not that there's been a lack of chances. There have been chances. And again, Coventry, I really wouldn't be surprised if there's a good few more goals in this game, because both teams just wanting all-out attack. James Hale, how you doing, mate? This game is so open, could end up being 8-8. Could. Genuinely could. I think the last time I can remember Norwich looking this good attacking-wise was when we beat Huddersfield. Was it 7-0? I think at Carrow Road during lockdown, during that promotion season, and against Reading. But that was like when the season was over, when we beat them 7-1, and we were 6-0 up at half time in that game. They're 2 games that stick out for me, where every time we went forward, we looked like we were going to score. Hello, Rob. I love the watch along, Jack. Thanks, my man. Hang on, Josh Sargent's coming forward here. I'd love a Sargent goal. Another one, because I'm greedy like that. Sargent's been really good. Sargent's looked good in that sort of number 10 role, actually, with Pukki just beyond it. I will get to your comment in a moment, but Norwich are looking to add a 4th to their portfolio. That's brilliant play from Kieran Dowd. Gabriel Sara! Oof, just wide. Nice bit of play that from Norwich. Nothing better than having Norwich on the telly, Jack Reeve on the phone, a cup of coffee for 7:30 US East Coast kickoff. That sounds dreamy. I think every part of that, barring me on your phone, sounds good. I'm actually heading out to America in March, and I'm thoroughly excited for it. I'm heading to near Florida for 3 weeks of golf. Common loons. So stick one earphone in to listen and comment on the commentary. Do I look like a man that can multitask? If I had commentary in one ear and trying to talk in another, that would not work. It really wouldn't work very well. Everything aside, the pleasing thing here is that Norwich City are still winning. And I'm just looking, actually, in that first goal, I think the Rose own goal, someone's boot had actually fallen off in the lead up to it. Debris all over the place. Richard says this game is as good as the Huddersfield game the other year when we scored 7. Yeah, I mean, I think we were probably a bit more dominant in that fixture. But in terms of entertainment, you're bang on. I suspect if you're a neutral and you've just nipped down to the pub for a little swift one, and you thought, I'll get there at 1:45. You might have thought it was a 1:45 kickoff. Often games are 1:45. And you've looked at the clock and you've gone, it's 3-2. And I'm here at 10-1. And I've missed 5 goals. Imagine there's a lot of people doing that. And a lot of people going, oh my God, we need to take note of this David Wagner. We really need to take note of David Wagner. I'm just watching that third goal back. It was so, so delicious. That Timu Pukki cutback, stick that in a frame and put it in the bloody National Art Gallery, because that was really quite special. Just a reminder that there is a super chat function that you can help the channel out. It's a little $sign in the comments. If you put that, you can donate anything upwards of I think 79 pence, and all the money goes back into the running costs of this channel, which is very much appreciated. Ryan says, how do you turn the commentary off? What, in terms of on the telly? I just muted it, man. I just muted the telly. I don't know if there's any other way of doing it. Oh, yes. Sorry, Simon. Thank you, mate. I forgot to update the ticker. Sorry. I was caught up in the melee. Let me update that. It is indeed 3-2. Thanks, Simon. You're the only one that clearly tuning in, paying attention. Oh, that's poor from Dimianulis. Gives it away. It's Palmer. Oh, my goodness. It's nearly 3-3. Dimianulis with a poor game so far. Palmer has given us all kinds of bother. Ollie Bensley. Oh, Waldo. How's it going, mate? Did I complete the World Cup sticker book? Yes. Yes, I did. And now I'm collecting the Premier League sticker book because I am 12. Yeah, I did. I did complete it. I had huge amounts of fun collecting that. Keith says, am I playing Sawgrass? You know what, Keith? It's on the list. It's on the list. Whether we can afford it is another matter, but I would love to play Sawgrass. Love to play it. I don't think it's... I know a few people that have played it. I think a lot of people have said, like, it's obviously a superb golf course, but it's probably slightly overpriced just because of 17. But either way, I'd pay very good money to play there. Maybe we're staying not so far from Sawgrass actually, so hopefully. Liam says Dimmy's having an awful game. Yeah, he's not settled, has he, so far? Which is odd because he was so good against Preston. I think they've just they've overloaded that side and they've seen that Dimmy's not having the best game. I think at this stage, both managers will just want to get their teams in and just regroup. And I think, to be honest with you, in the grand scheme of things, Wagner will actually be quite happy that we're still winning this game because for the last 10 minutes, Coventry have had a lot of the ball. What happened to the TNC pub crawl, says Mr. E. We did it kind of. We had a good old session at Laken's Brewery and then went to a few pubs after. So there was maybe not a pub crawl. The problem with that season when the watchalongs were just going off, like we set up a list basically if anyone wanted to come on the TNC pub crawl, and we had close to 1,000 people on the list for interest in a pub crawl, and like that's fine and that's amazing, but you have to start worrying about like health and safety and shit like that when you've got that many people that want to go on the beers, and it just wasn't going to be doable. We thought about like event hire and all of that. So we did a ticketed event. I think it was a tenner. You got your beer for free. I think you ended up, it was great value at Laken's, and we had a lovely time. But we might do something. We might do something again this summer. We'll see. If we get promoted, we'll do something. Let's do that. Nicholas says this isn't a defender's game. I don't think any defender can hold their head high at the moment. The clean sheet bonus has gone anyway for both teams. I did say tonight, I think both teams will score. I didn't think it was going to be this. Let's see. Hi, Jack. Can you give a shout out to my mate James Cook? Carried seasons ago in 87 and was present at the famous 2-1 Bayern away win in 93. Cheers, mate. Oh, hello, James Cook. I hope you're well. I know a few James Cooks. I don't think I know that one, though. Brilliant. Welcome along, Will, and welcome along to James as well. Russell says some of the Norwich defending has been poor. Yeah, it has been poor. It baffles me, really, because that back line, you've got Max Aarons, who's arguably one of the best wing backs in the league. You've got Dimianulis, who I think on his day is a very, very good player. And then you've got Grant Hanley and Big Andy, who I still believe are good centre backs. Like Big Andy in particular. Hanley might be past his prime, but I think he gets into 95% of championship clubs in the starting lineup. I think we often overlook Grant Hanley a little bit. I think he's a very capable football player. There we go. It will be interesting to see whether we sign anyone in January. I'm leaning towards the fact that we probably won't. We've lost Aaron Ramsey, haven't we? He's gone back because of injury, which is a real shame because he actually looked quite decent start of the season. Campwell's on the move. To be fair, that was quite a densely populated area of the pitch. Just slightly nervy here. Gustavo Hamer's over a free kick about 30 yards out, but he's going to give it a crack. it's on target as well. But it's just a simple save for Tim Krul. The hat is off for Tim Krul if we all wanted a hat update. What was I saying? Yeah, will we sign anyone? I think you're probably right. I think we probably do need another defender, and I'd like to see another midfielder. I think attacking options we've got quite a lot. You know, you've got Dowell, you've got capable players on the bench as well. You just sort of Adam Eder, he's a good option to have. Hugel's still at the football club. I can't imagine he's going to be here past January. I suspect he might go out on loan. But I think you're right. I think a couple of signings would be nice, but Norwich are a bit hamstrung in a sense of finances, so you know, we'll see. I don't think there's certainly not going to be any big signings, put it that way. Alan, holy moly, just signed on. Not watching, but sounds exciting. Yeah, you've missed 5 goals, my friend. It's been more than exciting. I mean, that opening 25 minutes was utter carnage. It has calmed down slightly in the last 20. We've gone 20 minutes without a goal, which is thoroughly disappointing. And I will be asking for a refund on my Sky subscription. But yeah, Norwich are still leading this game. I'm the dude. What did you want to see Jamal Lewis freed and bring him back? I did see actually that Jamal Lewis was being linked with a few Championship clubs. It's a shame it hasn't really quite worked out for him at Newcastle because, well, we know what Jamal's all about. He's a very, very good footballer. And we got good money for him. I think probably the growth and the expansion of Newcastle probably hasn't helped Jamal. They've got some very good footballers there now, haven't they? And obviously just hasn't really been able to get in. So, yeah, I would like to see Jamal freed, as you put it. He's too good to be wasted on the bench. I think it also applies to Toddy as well. Like, Todd is at a stage in his career now where he really needs the next move to be a good one. And I hope if it is to be Rangers, which I think we'll think it will be, that it works out for him. It's either going to go brilliantly or horrendously up at Rangers. Like, don't think the standard's quite as good. So there's an opportunity there to really dig in. If you can get on board with the fan base there quickly, you know, things can go really nicely. Opportunity of European football. I desperately hope it works out for Todd. I like Todd. I like what he's about. I think he's misunderstood. I think, you know, it's a shame the way his Norwich career has kind of panned out in the end. I think it feels quite wasteful in a way. I think it could have gone so much better, whether it's down to him, whether it's down to external factors. I don't think anyone should be certain on that. Only Todd will know that definitely what happened, but maybe the story will come out one day. Hong Dong Ji. Love you, mate. Always in the watch along, isn't he? He says, hoping Wags. Wags. What can they call him? Wags. Just a last chance here for Coventry to get forwards. It's well defended by Big Andy there. Hoping Wags can shout some sense into them, keeping their heads. We can't afford to have a collapse after such a brilliant start, despite Coventry being a good side. Yeah, Coventry are a good side. You know what? It might actually be a good thing that we've conceded those two, because coming off the back of a 4-0 and then leading 3-0 within 15 minutes, I was the first to get carried away. And maybe we just needed that to humble us slightly and just be like, yeah, this isn't all perfect yet. And we have got goals in us. Anyway, that's half time. The Canaries lead 3-2. Hernandez is sort of limping off, moping off. So I don't know whether he'll return back out. Hernandez and Sargent with the goals, and an own goal from Rose, and it was Palmer and Allen with the goals for Coventry. Let's get our half-time thoughts in then and see how we're all feeling after that moment of madness. Sam Hart. Hello, Sam. How's it going, mate? Norwich may have Wagner at the wheel, but he's no John Messinio. I must say, Sam's a big Portsmouth fan and a top man as well. When I was flicking through Twitter the other day and saw that John Messinio had been appointed at Pompey, I did think, if you look at that name, John Messinio, quickly, it does look like Jose Mourinho. And I was like, wow, that's a coup for Pompey. Mourinho. the only thing I care about in League One is Ipswich Town not getting promoted. So whether that's Pompey, whether that's Plymouth, whether that's, I don't know, bloody Fleetwood Town, as long as all of those put in 10 out of 10 performances against Ipswich, then I will love them all dearly. That was electric, wasn't it, Tom? Get your halftime thoughts in. It was electric. We were kind of charging our electric car on full tilt for 25 minutes, and then we started to get a bit of a shock when Coventry replied. The yin and yang of electricity proven in that first half. We're getting absolutely gangstered on their right wing. Yeah, we've struggled down the right. Palmer's giving Dimmy and Ulis all kinds of bother, and I think we do need to look at that going into the second half as well. To be fair, a lot of the joy we were getting was down the right side as well through Teemu Pukki. I'm just going to look at my bet, mate, because I'm sure a lot of you are in our bet, mate, league. Let's see how we're getting on. Probably not very well. No, I'm 37th. The Real Easy leading in our league. Oh, he's captain Pukki and got Josh Sargent in there as well. Yeah, that'll do it. Let's see how I'm getting on. Not very well. Not very well at all, I'm afraid. Let's get some more comments in here shortly. See how we're all faring. Fire the first 20-30 minutes, then I really don't know what happened. I think that's a good assessment, JB. Don't complete fire and then just a complete calamity. I'd be intrigued to see these goals back actually at half time. I think Coventry will feel upset with a couple of goals they conceded. I think the second goal for Coventry was quite nicely worked, and it was a good bit of kind of number 9 play from Guy Carrez. I know it was Palmer that got the finish, but Guy Carrez did the hard work, and it was Palmer down the... No, was it? Whoever it was down the right-hand side for Coventry on that occasion gave Dimmy and Unis all kinds of bother. But yeah, the first goal did feel sloppy. Big Andy not really strong enough in the challenge. I think Max Yaren's got a little bit of bother down that side. So both teams won't be happy with the way that they've defended. Norwich going forwards, though, have been clinical. There's been one opportunity that we should have scored that we didn't score, and that was on El Hernandez, who had a good opportunity, just blazed it over the bar. Look, those things happen. We know what Arnold's about. We've watched him for long enough. We'll create lots. We'll miss lots. He's got a goal, so we can't moan too much, can we? This is a good point from Keegan. He says Krul's making more mistakes when playing out short from the back. There were a couple of moments, particularly early on, and he quickly put that cap on, didn't he, afterwards? I think Gunny, I think that's one of the big reasons why a lot of people were probably a bit annoyed when Angus had been dropped from the side, because I think his distribution is a little bit better. Equally, we are playing a different style of football now under Wagner, so it will require the defenders and the goalkeeper to play those shorter passes and slightly more risky passes as well. And there will be moments where you give it away, and there were, it could have quite easily gone very nastily wrong for Timmy, but it didn't. But it's certainly something to keep an eye on, and it would be incredibly frustrating if we see another sort of Blackburn FA Cup goal given away again, because it's just sloppy, and at this level you can't do it. Just watching the goals back now, I think Coventry were claiming that there should have been a foul in there. No, there was no foul in there. There was no foul in there. JB says, the play under Wagner has changed my opinion on several players, including Kieran Dowell. Does Pukki really want to leave? Well, we discussed Pukki and his situation at Norwich City. Just watching, the second and the third Norwich goals were just brilliant. such lovely interplay from our attacking players. Really, really was. Sorry, JB, back to you. Does Pookie want to leave? So Pookie's out of contract this summer. He's 32. I think we're in a situation with Timu where this could well be his last season for Norwich. But and this is why I think that. If we don't go up, which is of course a very likely possibility, Pookie will leave. He won't do another season in the Championship. I think he's given more than enough service at an incredible level that we could give him a nice goodbye if he doesn't want another season in the Championship. If we were to go up, then you've got a situation on your hands where, do you want Pookie in the Premier League? I think the answer is probably yes, but will he be starting or will it be Sargent? Like, I think if we go up, Pookie will stay. I don't know if he plays every week, but yeah, I don't know. I think for a lot of players, Pookie, Max Aarons, even Josh Sargent, Dibby Anulis, there's a lot of players. If we weren't to get promoted this season, will be leaving. And that's the argument that I never really get, because when people are like, oh, we need a season in the Championship to regroup, like, I get where you're coming from. I'm of the opinion that the negatives of that far outweigh the positives, because you do lose a lot of talent. There's a lot of players in this side that I think will probably want to be playing elsewhere if Norwich are in the Championship again, and they will include the better players. And you also got a financial situation where your finances in the second tier of English football are so much less than the top flight, that you can't afford to keep hold of some players. And the likes of Sargent and, well, certainly Milo Rashica, but Christos Jolis and players like that will just be gone because wages, and you can cash in. And that will be a real shame, particularly with Sargent, who I think has been really good this season. Hello, Sean. How's it going, mate? Definitely cruel, making bad mistakes. Hate them passing through the back. Keeping the defence makes me nervous. Very lucky to escape. Yeah, I think, look, there's positives and negatives. I think the way that Wagner likes to play football is out from the back. And I think in general, that is a more attractive way of playing, but it will create situations that you speak of, Sean, there in nervousness at the back. And particularly when these players are fresh to it again, because we certainly didn't see that under Dean Smith, and maybe don't have the technical ability of some of the better Premier League players, the John Stones and the Akanjis of the world, who have the ability to do that. It will create those moments. But I think going forwards, that is the style we should be playing if we want to continue improving. William Jackson, so many Americans tuning in. Welcome along. Welcome along, William. Worth getting up at 4:30 in San Diego for. Wow. That is an early start, my friend. That is a very early start. But yeah, indeed. It should have certainly woken you up, put it that way. Janik. Hello, Janik. Sorry, I need a sip of tea. My throat is actually in tatters at this stage. The tea's on a bit cold now. Looks like I've goals to look forward to and coming back to Norwich from Denmark. I hope you've had a lovely time in Denmark, Janet. Whereabouts have you been? Big fan of Denmark. Yeah, I think that's a guarantee. 7 goals in a game and a half under David Wagner's league game so far. So that's incredibly impressive. Yeah. Welcome back in February, which isn't too far away, Janik. Nicholas from Melbourne. Melbourne, what a place, what a city. 12:30 a.m. in Melbourne. Yeah, would you rather wake up at 4:30 or go to bed at like 2? Probably go to bed at 2, wouldn't you? Unless you've had an early morning and then you're in all kinds of bother. But lots of commitment being shown from the worldwide Canaries here. This is why I love doing these watch-alongs. I'm sat here in Norfolk. We've got Norwich fans in Coventry, and there are thousands watching the game. We've got people all over Norfolk tuning in. And then we've got Norwich fans in Denmark and America and Melbourne. It's brilliant. 96 points, 96 goals. Very much on. It's me, James E. So for 96 points, we'd need to win every single remaining game, which we'll do. Can someone work out how many goals per game we'd need to score to get to 96? There's your homework, everyone. Mad. James, any local football on today? Need a game to go to? Well, there's got to be something. The only problem is, James, whether local football will be postponed. I did a park run this morning, like Norwich way, and the surface was completely frozen. Granted, that was earlier on, so it might have thawed now. But if anyone knows of a game going ahead, put it in the comments and let James know, because he needs football to watch. One game isn't enough. 8:30 in the USA. God bless Josh Sargent. Yeah, God bless Josh Sargent. I agree. We've got so many time zones checking in from America. We've got whereabouts are you then, Jack? For it to be 8:30. Thomas loves the glasses. Thank you. Helps me look. Helps me see. What half of football? Yeah, a balmy half of football. It must be said. I thought it was going to be entertaining. Wagner ball. They just take it to a whole new level. My goodness. To hit 90, good, impressive quick maths here. We would need to score 3.1 goals per game to hit 96. Well, we're doing it. We're doing it so far under Wagner. Doable. Why can't we do it? Let's do it. Win every game. 3 goals a game. Happy days. 96 points, 96 goals is on. What year is this Norwich shirt from? I think it's the let me get it. It's the Proton one. I really like it because the badge is in the middle. I think it's 2005. I want to say 2005. I think I can recall Dean Ashton wearing it. I think that's the one. I think it's 05. Someone will know. So it's 7:30 North Carolina. It's 8:30 in New Hampshire. And Jack's just outside of New York. So plenty of time zones. Stephen's in Washington. Happy to see Sargent's goal. Me too, Stephen. Me too, my friend. Nice to see Sargent on the score sheet. Deserved one last week. Got one this week. I think there's more in him. Sargent's been impressive this season. And I think playing a slightly more central role, almost the number 10, is going to help Sargent no end. He's not a winger. He said that. It's almost remarkable that he's scored as many goals as he has done this season, playing out wide. I think Sargent's on for a really good season, half season under David Wagner. Nicky says 2002. It's not as early as 2002, Nicky. Definitely not 2002. That would have been like Coleman's, wouldn't it? 02? Yeah, it's definitely not 02. I think it's 2005. 2004, 5-ish. 05, 06 is Nathan. Yeah. Potentially. Dave's in Florida. That's where I'm heading in March, my friend. Lots of you in Florida, actually. Look, I'm going to be in Florida for a couple of Norwich games. So if there is a pub, the Floridian Canaries, then let me know. And we're seeing a substitute. Now, this is very interesting. A substitute is on, and it's Sam McCallum that is coming on for Dimi Anulis. Now, that is bold from David Wagner. We said, didn't we? We said that Dimi was being given all kinds of bother. And to sub him at half-time is a serious statement. And Dimi's not going to be happy with that. But I like that from Wagner. He's clearly got balls on him. To go to one of our more sort of senior players in Dimi Anulis, a big money signing, and go, you know what, Dimi? You've not been very good this 45 minutes. I'm subbing you off. Sam McCallum, on you go against your former club. Have a go. Happy days. Nicky says, well, Sam McCallum, that's who's been brought on. I think at this stage, I'd keep it similar. Who have we actually got on the bench? I never, ever take notice of the bench. And it always comes back to bite me because I go, let's bring bloody Ewan Roberts off the bench. Not realising he no longer plays. So on the bench, we've got Sorensen, we've got a lot of midfielders. Sorensen, Nunez, and Gibbs, and then Daniel Sinani and Adam Eder in terms of attacking players. Yeah, I think Eder maybe for Hernandez in 20 minutes. Liam Gibbs to shore things up. Maybe get him on for like Sarah. At the moment, I think keep things the same. I think you just need to settle down a little bit. I think this team is more than capable of keeping it tight and hopefully scoring at some point. JB says, reach out to the American Canaries. We'll drive the 8 hours to a TNC American special. I will get in touch with the American Canaries. I know Dubai Canaries are watching at the moment, watching in the watch. I had a brilliant time out in Dubai last December, and I watched a couple of games with them in an epic pub. They kind of based it off of an English pub out in Dubai, and we had a great time. I think there was about 15 of us out in Dubai watching the Norwich game. Had huge amounts of fun. It is amazing, and it makes you realise even more so when you're in these watch-alongs how many Norwich fans are abroad. Like in the stories of some people, like often people have. I'd be fascinated actually to see those of you that are abroad watching, get in the comments like, how did you start supporting Norwich? So the majority of people I've spoken to abroad have lived in or been brought up in Norwich and then moved away for work or family or whatever. Or the other one is lots of Americans in particular. I'd be interested to see the Americans watching have come to UEA to study as an international student and then fall in love with Norwich. I'm always fascinated to see how people got involved with the Canaries, because I think if you're abroad and you've got no affiliation with Norwich, you're not picking us as a team, are you? You're picking like, I don't know, Liverpool or Man City or someone. Here we go. Top is 05-06. Yeah, I knew it was around 05. It's a beauty. I love it. And you know what? It's actually stood the test of time really well. A lot of the newer kits just aren't as good quality. Like I've got like quite a lot from like 2016, 17, 18, those kind of tops. But all of the sponsors have just fallen off. This one is just, going nowhere, the old Proton. From Norwich, now living and working in Saudi. Oh, Saudi Arabia, yeah. I assume you're in oil and gas or something, are you, Sid? Welcome along. Anyway, great to have you aboard. The Saudi Canaries. We are underway, by the way, in the second half. 48 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. And it's been a fairly uneventful first 3 minutes of this second half. Dubai Canary, born and brought up in Norwich and followed them overseas in Qatar, Oman, UAE, Philippines and Cyprus. That's some life, isn't it? My goodness. Nicholas intentionally picked a battler club. So have you got no affiliation with Norwich then, Nicholas? I know you said you're from Melbourne. Amazing if so. Brilliant. I mean, no reason not to pick Norwich. It's just got a painful journey, isn't it? I'm sure there's far more pain-free experiences you can have watching football. But that's what we like. It makes the success even sweeter when we do finally put a promotion together or something. Sam McCallum, good defending there. Coventry, the decent chance there, but put wide. William, you know what? I heard this a lot as well. Started watching because of Josh Sargent, became a Norwich fan because of TNT. Well, sorry, I haven't heard that a lot of Norwich people supporting Norwich supported the club because of TNC. But I know there's been a lot of American interest because of Josh Sargent. We love that. We love the Americans. This is a brilliant one. From the US, my neighbour is a Watford fan. Hernandez. Oh, Sargent. Oh, poor touch Sargent. So I wanted to support an EFL team, and I'll be honest, I was first one over to Norwich by Stephen Fry. Yeah, I like that, Stephen. Well, probably more joy this season being a Norwich fan than being a Watford fan. Actually, maybe not. Probably equal levels of displeasure this season. Norwich, hang on, I'm just going to watch the game for a second. Sarah hits one just wide of the mark. He's been lively this game so far, Gabriel Sarah. Rob, I picked Norwich from abroad. Never been to Norwich, but started following them during Project Restart, hoping to support a team fighting Premier League survival. That was obviously abysmal, but you, Chris, and the watch-alongs cemented my support. Oh, that's brilliant. That's absolutely wonderful. So nice that so many of you have picked Norwich because of TNC. And you know what? I get it. Pookie through, he's offside. I get it because often I don't really support like an American sport like a baseball or hockey or something. But I know loads of my mates are banging into like basketball and baseball and stuff like that, and they will often pick clubs based off of like what's got the best podcast or something, because you can feel more part of a club then, can't you? Terry, I love these stories. Terry says he grew up in Norfolk and watched my first game with his granddad in the 60s. Now I live in Denver, coming back for Burnley. Oh, well, Terry, if you're back and you fancy a pint, drop me a tweet and we'll see where we can go. Ice Tom says, hi, Jack. My wife and I are watching from Shanghai. YouTube is blocked here, so VPN makes us appear elsewhere. I see. It's 9:30. Oh, welcome. Hello, Shanghai. Never been to Shanghai. Heard really good things there. Love this from Keith. Family moved to Caister-on-Sea in 1981. I stayed in Lincolnshire and moved to East Yorkshire. Brilliant. We love Caister. I absolutely love Caister. These are brilliant, these stories. This team with Pookie, I'll tell you what would be brilliant. And a goal. And Norwich are looking bright here. Hernandez down the left. That's excellent work from Hernandez. Cuts it back. Doesn't quite get to Pookie, but Kenny McLean will get there. Good cross. Oh, it was a chance for Aarons at the back post. Oh, that was unfortunate. Oh, that really was. It was a lovely bit of play from Hernandez down the left. Norwich looking sprightly this half. We need another goal just to ease the nerves a little bit. I lived in England in my teens before football was invented in 1992. Quite right. Dad was USAF. Carrow Road was the second stadium which I saw a match, coming only after the Recway Mildenhall. Oh, wow. Hernandez down the left. Another shooting opportunity. Hernandez! Oh, he's hit the post. Oh, Hernandez is getting joy down the left. Oh, that was a great chance, and it hits the post. Let's watch this one back. It was Sarah putting it out wide to Hernandez. You know he's got the beating of all of those players with pace. Cuts in. Oh, it just hits the base. Oh, it's another good opportunity for Hernandez. He does well, actually. Oh, what a chance that is. Brilliant. East End Guy 48, Jack and NCFC fans. I'm in New York. Sargent brought me. The fence needs to be better. You know what? Josh Sargent should be on bloody commission for TNC with our ad revenue. He's brought in a lot of American fans, and I love it. What a stat this is from Keith. My auntie went to school with Disco Dale Gordon. If you want another Dale Gordon-based fact, we, not anymore, my first our family home, we lived on the same road as Dale Gordon. Quite a pleasant chap, legend. John Bond married a distant relative, and that's how Dave got into Norwich. That's one way to do it. Marry into City. Blimey. Well, this has been yet another fairly chaotic opening 8 minutes to the second half as Gustavo Hamer sort of limps, grimacing to the sideline. It would be a big blow if Hamer has to go off for Coventry. I think he's going to play on, but one of their better players, Gustavo Hamer, for Coventry, and limping at the moment. But he'll take on board an isotonic drink and hopefully crack on for them. Oh, he doesn't like that drink one bit. Anyone watching that? Hey, they gave him some form of energy drink, and he absolutely hates it. That was quite funny. Anyway, back underway. Simon says should get Dale Gordon on the podcast. I think Dale lives in Dubai now. I think he's lived out there for a while. Yeah, we'd love to get Dale on. He did have the bar at the Wellesley, didn't he? I think he owned the bar for Great Yarmouth Town a little bit. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he's living in Dubai now, living it up. Right. Norwich, just talk about football. Shall we? Hernandez. All of the joy for Norwich and Coventry have come from wide areas. The wing backs just not being able to deal with wingers, and Hernandez is giving the Coventry defence problems. O'Neill frustrates me because he's so good at getting into like really good positions, both crossing and shooting. If he just had 10% more of a bit more calmness and clarity when he gets into those areas, he would be a Premier League level winger. He really would. Just gets a bit flustered in key moments, I think. But Norwich looking a bit, they've got a bit more shape in this half. Another goal would be desperately, needed because it is a bit nervy at the moment. It would be horrible to give away a 3-goal lead. Equally, it doesn't feel like we ever had a 3-goal lead because we didn't have it for very long. Dubai Canaries, Jack, the potential for Norwich City to reach out to international fans is phenomenal, and TNT proves it. Club needs to recognise the potential and hire me. I don't know about the latter. But yeah, Norwich are a big club, and I think we often forget that because we're kind of caught up in the Norfolk bubble a bit. But as we've seen on here, as we've seen, if you ever go abroad, it will be so often you will bump into a Norwich fan. You only have to look at like the Dubai Canaries, the New York Canaries, the Australian Canaries, the big supporter groups abroad. And I just can't think of another championship club where that's the same. Like our reach across the world is huge. And I think that, the signing of Sargent and international players really helps with that. Saw it a little bit with Marcelo Nunez and Chilean fans kind of piling in. It's amazing, that kind of international reach. Norwich got the ball through Hernandez here again. He does really well on the left-hand side. He'll pick his head up and find Gabriel Sara. It's a bit of a poor hospital pass almost into Kenny McLean. And Norwich need to win the ball back here, and they do so through Sara. That was brilliant defensive work. Andrew, thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. Happy birthday as well. That's very kind of you. On the Ball City, it's my birthday. Don't let me down. We can't let Andrew down on his birthday, can we? Thanks very much for the super chat. If you're wondering what these are, they are called super chats. They come up in colourful colours, and you can use them. You can purchase them. There's a little $sign at the where you input the comments, and it helps the channel out massively, which is brilliant. William says most people I know in Zurich support Norwich. Really? That's amazing. I don't think we've ever had someone from Zurich in the watch-alongs. Maybe you guys just stay quiet, unlike the Americans. Crazy Bout Gravy says, when I went to New York, I visited the New York Canaries watch-along in a bar in the shade of the Empire State Building. It was brilliant. Yeah, I'd love to do that. I'd love to go to New York. Never been. And I'd love to go for an Norwich game actually with the New York Canaries because it looked buzzing in there. I know. Well, it helps, doesn't it, as well, with international fans having such brilliant rights over watching the games. It's amazing how it's nigh on impossible to watch football in this country when it's literally the country it's happening in. But you go to anywhere else and you can watch any game you want. I'm trying to block the spam accounts flooding in. Hopefully, I'm doing an okay job. It is mental, isn't it? All the international fans. Everyone's welcome here. Mr. Banana says, "What are your opinions on Cantwell leaving?" Well, I've spoken about it a little bit on a couple of recent videos on the podcast. There's just a tinge of sadness, to be honest, with Todd. Don't think it comes as a surprise. I think, unfortunately, it was probably the only chance Toddy had was if, for whatever reason, he kept Wagner came in and he was like, "You're the man, Todd," and that hasn't happened. And Wagner said that he's not in his plans. It's a shame. I think I was saying this to my good friend Ali Maxwell on the Not the Top 20 pod. We were speaking about Todd the other week, and I said he's a bit of a luxury player, Todd, because he's not a wide player. He's not a striker, so you have to sort of play him in the number 10. And I think Josh Sargent, say, in the number 10, is probably a more rounded player. I'd say he's probably a touch of a better finisher, probably a harder worker and a bit more physical. So when you're a player like Todd and you've got such a not a limited kind of skill set, because that would be desperately unfair, but a limited kind of position that you could have played. And maybe I'm being harsh here. I don't think I am. you have to nail it down. You have to be so much better than everyone else, and I don't think he has been. So, but yeah, overall, just sad it hasn't worked out because I like Todd. I think he's a great bloke. Done a lot of good. Had a lot of success at Norwich in the couple of seasons where he was, really bang on it. And I really hope it works out for him at Rangers. I'm glad he's not going to another Championship club because I think that would have hurt a little bit seeing him and potentially scoring against us and stuff. But Rangers feels like a good move for him. Huge club, big supporter base, a level that I think he can probably operate quite well at. And hopefully, if they do well, maybe some European football as well. So, yeah, hopefully it goes well for him. I really do hope. This is a good question. Love the channel. Had a lot going on recently and cheers me. Oh, that's very good. I hope you're okay, buddy. Random question: who's the best player you've seen in person? Oof. There was a few years, wasn't there, when Norwich were in the. I mean, probably in terms of just like individual performances, like Luis Suarez was always sensational against us. I know he was very disliked and was an incredible bit of a pest, really, but just a phenomenal footballer. He had those few seasons for Liverpool where he was just unstoppable, and particularly against us. Aguero, he was always special to watch. I tell you, this is certainly not the best player I've watched. The performance that sticks out in my head, which might surprise a few. I remember watching Marouane Fellaini when he was at Everton against Norwich, and I'd never seen a performance like it. Just everything stuck to him. I remember watching that and being like, wow, this guy's good. Who else? I mean, obviously Cristiano Ronaldo's played, seeing him a few times. He was pretty poor. I know he scored last time we played against him, but, he, in terms of best players ever, he's certainly up there, isn't he? Trying to think. I think Suarez is probably the one that sticks in the head. Aguero was always special. Rooney for United was always a bit of a threat. Gerrard, it's been really lucky, really, being able to see some good players at Carrow Road over the past decade and a bit. Yeah, no goals here for a little while, and certainly both teams are slightly more restrictive in the way they're going about things. It certainly helps that our defenders aren't now looking directly into sunlight. I think that will help everyone. But not really too many chances to note so far. Hernandez has been the most sprightly player. He's created some problems down that side. Brett says Ida's coming on, is he? Yeah, I wonder who Ida will come on for. Kieran Dowell. Oh, it's a lovely pass. Pookie's in. Pookie! Oh, just over the bar. Great play from Kieran Dowell. He's been one of the key performers, hasn't he, for Wagner so far. He picks the ball up beautifully in that number 10 role. And he's got men over and he finds Pookie really well. And Pookie arguably should do better from there. You'd probably bank him to at least get it on target. Did take a deflection to put it over the bar. So it should be a corner. And I think it will be a corner. But yeah, brilliant bit of play from Kieran Dowell there. Andrew says, does anyone know where I can watch a Norwich game in Japan? I'll be in Tokyo in March. I think there's a Japanese Canaries supporters group. Whether they're based in Tokyo, I'm not sure. Definitely search it. I'm sure I've seen that. Anyway, corner for Norwich whipped in. Not met by anyone, but it's back to Gabriel Sara. Will look to find a cross. Gives it to McLean. McLean will give it to Aarons, who'll pick his head up and try and find a cross. Will not find the cross and instead passes it back to Hernandez. Nice bit of play there from Norwich. I've still got the balls and Big Andy. Dowell to come off, apparently. Okay. Dowell for Ida. Interesting. Dowell's still on the pitch at the moment. Dowell's Dowell was obviously excellent against Preston. The goals helped. He's been good again today. Found some really nice passes. We've missed that player in that kind of number 10 role that can link midfield and attack. And we've seen that through Dowell. It's McCallum who'll cut it back to the aforementioned Kieran Dowell. Goal! Boom! Kieran Dowell is on the score sheet, and it's Norwich 4, Coventry 2. Feels like a big goal. Great timing. The opposite of a commentator's curse there, as Kieran Dowell gets on the score sheet. It was a brilliant bit of play from Sam McCallum down the left-hand side. Or was it? Sorry, it may have been someone different. It's difficult without the commentary on. It was Josh Sargent, down the left, who gives it to. It might even be Gabriel Sara. It's a great cutback. Dowell does so well. And it's a near. The keeper should arguably do better, but that's a lovely, lovely bit of play from Kieran Dowell, who's been excellent under David Wagner. And it's a really nice finish into the near post. And Norwich are leading 4-2. Get in there. Look at that. The comments flying in. Daldinho, let's go. Big goal for Norwich. It just felt like you needed that 2-goal cushion again because Coventry have it in them to score. And I actually think Dowell was about to be taken off. Now, whether that decision now is changed will be interesting. But he's had a really pivotal 10 minutes, Kieran Dowell. He's created a couple of chances. And now he's got his goal. And I think he'll be staying on because he's taking on one of those liquid gels. It's Marcelino Nunez who's come onto the pitch. Not quite sure who's gone off at this stage. But that's a really big goal, and that's Kieran Dowell on the score sheet, which is needed. Crazy says 25 minutes left, still another 5 goals in this. You never know. You never know. Really, really chuffed for Kieran Dowell because he's had a difficult season, hasn't he? That feels good. That feels really good. I'm pleased about that. Important goal. Important goal for Norwich, that. Just need to stay tight now. Oh, it's Canaries. Still Canaries. Oh, puts it over the bar. Good chance. I tell you what, if we would have conceded another then that would have been an issue. Norwich have looked far more defensively astute since Sam McCallum's come on for Wagnerlution, and it's a good bit of defending there actually from Sam McCallum because Canaries gets in a really promising position, and I think it's Sam McCallum's deflection that just nudges it over the bar. He's a player, that Canaries. I really like him. I don't think he's going to be at Coventry for too much longer if he continues playing the way he does. He's been really, really impressive. Leo says, just found your channel and loving the coverage. Thanks, Leo. I started supporting Norwich City after my dad was born there. First game was a 2-1 win against Everton. Kai Kamara. Yeah, I remember that well. That was a header, wasn't it? Really, I used to sit in the Norwich and Peterborough back then. It was right behind that. That was a really memorable game. Kai Kamara, yeah. What bundle of joy he was. Well, welcome along. Welcome along, Leo. Good to see you. Liam, yeah, Sky Go, 90 seconds behind live TV, so celebrating knowing the goal was coming. That is the problem, mate, Sky Go. I bit the bullet and got an actual Sky subscription, so I got it live and direct on the telly to see Kieran Dowell hit home there. Great to have a spring in our step again and in mind. Yeah, quite right. Quite right. It's football's about fun, right? And football's about fun, and it wasn't fun under Dean Smith. There were a couple of good moments. The win against Watford was fun, and that 10-game unbeaten run was okay. But this is exceptional. I mean, back-to-back games with 4 goals. I mean, it's a remarkable start for Wagner. And there's still 20 minutes left in this game, and it has been all Norwich this second half as we come forward again. Marcelino Nunez on the ball. Kieran Dowell influential once more. This has been a really good spell actually from Norwich, and I'm pleased about that because after taking a 3-goal lead, then back to 3-2, it could have quite easily crumbled, but they've dug in and they've found some shape, and that's important. There's still 20 minutes to go. We're not through the woods just yet, but really impressive. Wagner's obviously made a couple of changes and made a big call to bring on Sam McCallum for Wagnerlution. I think that's made a really big difference. Pleasing signs in this second half, and I actually think as long as we go on to win this game, come the end of the season, I think that could be a really pivotal moment conceding 2 to Coventry, because we could have got quite carried away with things, and it made us think, no, you know what? We need to switch on. We need to be better. We can't be complacent. And thankfully, we conceded 2 goals at a time when we'd already scored 3. So, yeah, good stuff. Sam, it's a question for you. Who's had more of an impact for Norwich in the last 3 seasons, Dowell or Cantwell? Well, probably Dowell over the last 3 seasons, but particularly this season, Dowell's had more. What does 3 seasons take us back to? I mean, the promotion under Farker, the second promotion, I think, Cantwell was influential in that. I remember him scoring some really big goals. But Dowell did as well, to be fair. I think Dowell's a very good player, right? I think I said it on the podcast on Monday. Difficult to rate players, particularly attacking players, when they're just making 10-minute cameos. You need a big sample size to work from. And now that Dowell's been given more regular game time, I think it's easier to make a fair assessment on him. And he has been exceptional the last couple of games. So really pleased for Kieran. Really pleased. Mr. E. This is a question. Given our 8 goals in 2 games, do we actually need to do any business this January? I don't think that just by scoring 8 goals, completely changes things. But I think this is quite a bloated squad, and it's quite deep. I think the areas where we may be slightly light, I say that we've got some midfielders on the bench today. Maybe a winger. I think after losing Aaron Ramsey, they're obviously a winger light, and you're also losing Todd as well. Maybe a winger. I don't know. I think to make a real difference, you have to spend considerable cash, and we don't have that. I think I think for Norwich to bring in someone, it would take a real star at a relatively cheap price. Nicholas is left-footed centre-back. Yeah, but I just can't see a centre-back coming in because you've got some fairly high earners there already in Hanley and Gibson, Big Andy. I think the Norwich is the club assessment of it will be they've got more than enough at centre-back. But I know where you're coming from, Nicholas. Oh, very kind of you, Dubai Canary, with a super chat. That's really kind of you, mate. 50 dirhams. That's awfully kind of you. Thanks for the super chat. And for those of you that don't know what that is, you can leave a super chat using the dollar sign at the bottom of the comment section. That's really kind of you, Dubai Canary. Thanks very much. Nice. Lots of people complimenting the Norwich fans at Coventry. I mean, I haven't got the commentary on, so I can't hear them, but I imagine they're in brilliant voice. And I tell you what, I bet it's going to be a bloody good night out after this, or a day session because of the early kickoff. After what will potentially, touch wood, be a win and another 4 goals as well. Harry Suter from Stoke. Yeah, he had a good World Cup as well, didn't he, Harry Suter? I don't think we'd be able to get him though. Is he? I mean, maybe I've missed something. Is Harry Suter up for grabs? I thought he was one of their better players. I think the criticism of Grant Hanley is really harsh actually this season. Look, he's got mistakes in him and he's not perfect, but who is? I think at this level he's more than capable. I think Gibson's had a poor season. I've been disappointed with him because I know the levels that he can operate at. Norwich are coming forwards again here. Hernandez down. Oh no, sorry, it's Adam Eder down the left, isn't it? Adam Eder's on the pitch. Well, maybe a bit slow that from Eder. Could have got his crossing earlier. I think it's evident at this stage that Norwich will happily just retain possession and aren't necessarily looking to take risks in order to score more goals. They're happy with their lot, and they're just trying to retain possession, just calm things down. And I'm not against that. There was an opportunity there for Adam Eads to get the ball across and find Pukki, who was in the box, but decided not to do that. And it means Norwich still got the ball. Very good indeed. Rob. Yeah, I was thinking about that goal the other day at Cantwell's against Sheffield Wednesday. That was a pivotal moment, wasn't it, in that promotion campaign? Yeah, Dowell has been more influential. Yeah, I think probably over the past few seasons he has been, which is mad really because Todd's ceiling was so high, like so high. He was being linked with big clubs, in the Premier League. And I think we could have got big money for him if we hadn't have got greedy. Although at the time, we probably, I'd say 3 years ago, like that, or probably longer ago than that, wasn't it? The first season under Daniel Farke in the Premier League, the season we beat Man City and stuff. If someone would have come in and offered 25 million for Cantwell and we'd sold him, I think people would have been disappointed. And now he's probably going for 500k. Corner for Norwich. It'll be Gabriel Sara to whip one in. Outswinger, left foot. Hanley tries to get there. Doesn't, goes over everyone. Pukki collects it at the back post. Pukki will try and charge into the box. He goes left. He goes right and left and right again. He'll pick his head up and try and find someone. Does he find someone? He does. In Kenny McLean. And Kenny McLean will go to Max Aarons. And Max Aarons will look to progress into the box and find a cross. And he does. And it's big Andy. And the header just goes just wide. James, thank you so much for the super chat, buddy. TNC's a credit to our football club. Oh, that's very kind. I'm not sure everyone would say that, but that's very kind. And no better fan channel out there. Oh, that's really kind of you. You know what? I love doing these watch-alongs because it's so nice to speak to so many of you. Know where you're from and like the story. I think that's beautiful, and it's really difficult to get that in any other form of kind of media. So no, I love it. I love doing these. I love the channel. Potentially really big podcast coming up as well, so stay tuned for that. I'm not going to give away any teasers, but when I say it could be the biggest yet, I'm not lying. So stay locked in for that one. And also, we're nearing 25,000 subscribers. I know there's a few of you new here today. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, then do that, because you'll never miss out on anything and get us to 25k. Let's have a look here. Kieran Dowd is grossly underestimated. I don't know if he's grossly underestimated. I think everyone is very aware of his ability when he has a good day, and I think those good days will be quite regular under David Wagner. I think sometimes I've thought he maybe doesn't offer enough, and he maybe drifts out of games. But like today, and against Preston, and even against a couple of other teams this season, when he picks up the ball, he's incredibly creative. Like, I was looking through some of his numbers the other day. In terms of like productivity from an attacking standpoint, the guy is like levels. Oh, Pukki's in here. This could be a fifth. It's Teemu Pukki. Oh, it's a great save. You bank on him to score. The Alameda on the rebound. Oh, Pukki was one-on-one. You would have put your house on him scoring that. What an opportunity for Teemu Pukki. I think it was Big Andy that played the ball. Pukki done his defender. He had all the time in the world. He was one-on-one. And doesn't quite manage to get... He hasn't scored yet, Pukki, has he? Keep thinking he's scored today. He hasn't. That was a great chance for Teemu. And it was a good save from the keeper, actually. You would have put your life on him scoring that. It was a great one-on-one opportunity for Teemu, but it's a good save from the goalkeeper as well. Andrew says, thanks for this, Jack. Working in North Carolina, no other way to listen to the game. Oh, well, I hope all is well in North Carolina, Andrew. Yeah. No other way to listen to the game, really. I thought you Americans could get all the games out there. Maybe not. Maybe not. Daldinho interview. No, not in terms of the podcast. We would love to get Daldinho on. Oh, my God. Teemu Pukki's just floored a defender, and he's still going. It's Teemu Pukki. It's out for a corner. Oh, he's so good. He's so good, Teemu. Like, oh, God. He just has the beating of defenders all the bloody while. Just watching that back, it just makes it look so easy. We are going to really miss Teemu when he's not here. I promise you. I promise you that. I'd love him to get to 100 goals. He needs another 12, doesn't he? So he basically needs to score more than 1 in 2. It's going to be it's going to be an ask for him. Maybe if we get into the playoffs, that could be another 3 games. I really want Teemu to get to 100 goals. I think he's on 88 at the moment, isn't he? Norwich have looked... I know this is weird to say because we scored 3 goals in 25 minutes first half. I think we've actually looked better in the second half, particularly defensively. We've had a lot of chances in the second half as well. Should have scored a couple. Nicholas says Pukki's due one here. It's coming. Yeah. He's had a couple. He'll be frustrated. He's not on the score sheet. I mean, his creative output has been second to none. Got an assist. Nice play from Nunez, who does unleash Pukki, and he's one-on-one. Oh, my God, he's still going. Timu Pukki, just slips at the wrong time. He's found a bit of pace, Timu, from somewhere. He's really has. Oh, that's a... Oh, I tell you what. Oh, that looked a penalty. Pukki was brought down in the area. I think if that's 0-0, that gets given. Oh, I'd like to see that one back. I'm sure that should be a penalty for Timu there. Looked like it was straight through the back of him. Can you remember the penalty we gave away against Reading? Looked similar to that, but looked like there was a bit more in that one. That could have been the goal for Timu. It was great work once again. It really was. Rob says it's on ESPN Plus in the United States. We don't get all the Championship. Oh, of course, you get the Premier League games, don't you? Yeah, forget we're in the Championship. Still living in the big leagues. Still living in the big leagues. Oh, that was frustrating. That felt like the moment for Tammy, didn't it? But 81 minutes on the clock. Norwich still leading this game. Also, do you like my new bit of art in the house? Norwich, let me tilt up a bit so you can see it. That's Norwich skyline. Got the town hall, got Haven Bridge House, got the harbour in there. Beauty. Done by an artist called James Dodds. It was on show in an exhibition in Yarmouth, so I had to get my hands on that. Pride of place in the living room. Hodgepodge. Hello, Hodgepodge. Great name. Do you see a time down the line when Norwich are a mid-table club like Brentford or Brighton? Yeah, I think so. Oh, that's a shocking pass from Dow. Gives it straight to Coventry. They're in here. Oh, puts it wide. Oh, that was a chance for Coventry, and that could have been a big turning point. It was Allen who's already got a goal. Bigging up Dow. He plays a terrible pass straight to the Coventry player. Oh, probably should do better just wide of mark. Yeah, there's no reason why we can't. I think, the likes of Brighton and Brentford, although comparable to Norwich in certain areas, like who have you got? Tony Bloom owns Brighton, and the other gambler that owns is it Benham that owns Brentford? Both incredibly wealthy individuals compared to Delia and Michael. I think when the Atanasios hopefully live out their plan of taking majority ownership, they're suddenly probably more money on the table, and that gives you a better opportunity. The one thing I would say about Brentford and Brighton is whether it's sustainable over like a 5-10 year period is another question. I'm not taking anything away from either of those clubs because they've done brilliant. Brighton in particular, when you look at their recruitment, it's so special. But whether they can sustain it in a league like the Premier League, where it's just awash with money, is another question. Norwich more than have the capability to do it. The recruitment's been poor in recent years. But equally, you are operating in a completely broken system. And unless you've got literally a country owning you, like Man City and Newcastle, then you're struggling. Look at Liverpool and Chelsea this season. Hundreds and hundreds of millions of pounds spent over the course of a few seasons and struggling in mid-table. So what chance does that give Norwich when we go up a few seasons ago and our record signing is Sam Byron for 350k in the Premier League? Like, makes it difficult. Hannah says, is your Christmas tree still up? It's not. I left it really late. I took it down on Thursday. So like middle of January. Basically, it was a beautiful real tree. It was 10 foot tall, and it just wasn't dying. Like it looked unbelievable. I loved it, and I just didn't want to kill it. It didn't have the roots, so I couldn't replant it. So I just didn't want to get rid of it. I think it's nonsense. You got to take it down by January the 6th. Take it down when you want. Like maybe going into February is a bit of a push. But I was more than happy to leave it up until the 19th of January. A little bit of pressure here from Coventry. That's a great tackle from Grant Hanley. That's the kind of work that Hanley goes unnoticed for. It's a brilliant slide tackle there. Yeah. Crazy about Gravy. What's Chris been up to? Well, not only is he banned from TNT at the moment for his deranged comments surrounding Timu Puki wanting him dropped. The actual reason is he's moving house at the moment, so he's packing up at the moment. So that takes priority, unfortunately. Christian took his tree down Boxing Day. Like, no, leave it up. I say, particularly if it's a real tree. It kind of makes me a bit sad that you buy Christmas, like a real Christmas tree, and then you just get rid of it. Feels a bit wasteful. But equally, I don't really like fake trees. So there we go. Right, 86 minutes on the clock. And although I've loved this, my throat is starting to hurt. Talking for, what are we on? Nearly on for 2 hours. And I'm not talking at a normal conversation level. I'm talking quite loudly. It's quite tough. Okay, all get your small violins out. Pray for my throat. Adam, I don't like to do the comparing regimes thing, but this is so needed after a year of dross. We're on our way back. Yeah, we're on our way back, baby. We're on our way back. Greatest failed window, says Christopher, was Rashica Jolis, Pierre Malou, Matthias Norman, and Ozan Kabak. All picked up and not playing. Yeah, when you put it like that, it's mental, isn't it? And like such a considerable amount of money there as well. I mean, just transfer fees. What do we pay? Basically, 20 million for Rashica and Jolis. What was it? 4 million for Pierre Malou, and then the loan fee for Ozan Kabak was like considerable. I think it was about 4 million, and then Norman was probably a little bit less. But you're talking like 25 million plus for those players. Puki's off. Yeah, I think Puki's off. Jakob Sorensen is on, so probably a little bit of change of structure. Puki's kind of limping a little bit. I hope that's not serious. He's still walking. I think he's okay. He's really put it in today. The fact he hasn't scored today is an absolute... it's a shambles, really. He should have got a goal. But he's been brilliant today, Timu. 88 minutes. Just got to stay tight for a few more minutes here. Coventry have been probably the more threat in the last couple of minutes of this game. Norwich will feel really, really happy with this second half performance. It's been really impressive. Timu getting a very warm applause from the Norwich fans there. Brilliant stuff. Great to see. Christmas decks up last night in November, down on New Year's Eve. 1 month of manufactured joy is more than enough. Yeah, my Christmas decorations weren't up until I think the second week of December because my birthday's on the 3rd, and I don't really like having Christmas decorations up on my birthday. So, you know, would be interesting to see Christos Jolis. You know what? I think with Wagner, it does open up some opportunity. With like the likes of Jolis. I think Milo Rashica's future at Norwich is done. I think he will be moving permanently to Galatasaray, and probably a good move for all parties. It sounds as if we're going to recoup most of the money we paid for him, which is positive. But yeah, it would be interesting to see Jolis, and I think next season it's a real possibility. I can't say I've watched him at FC20. I've read a few little reports, and I think he's had a fairly decent time of it there. So yeah, it would be nice to see Jolis, and I think we forget that Christos Jolis, in those first couple of games he played, I think he scored a hat trick. Was it a hat trick? I think it was a hat trick, wasn't it? Oh no, I'm thinking of. Did Jolis score for us? I think he did, didn't he? And then missed that penalty against Liverpool, and everything was, went wrong from there really. So there's definitely a player in Christos Jolis. There's a reason we paid good money for him. Really nice to see Hernandez put in a good performance today and get that goal as well. I think that will really spur him on. He's a confidence type player, Onel. Just lovely seeing Onel, Dowell, Pookie ripping up. It's just giving me good vibes from a couple of seasons ago. Liam Gibbs is on the pitch now, 4-2. 89 minutes, basically 90. This game is pretty much wrapped up. And it's a really, really big win, this, because we've now got a little bit of a break between now and Birmingham. It gives Wagner a little bit more time to bed in and get his tactics across. And I think we'll find ourselves in a really good position. And I'm fairly sure that that Norwich are now back into the top 6. Yeah, we're actually 5th at the moment. We've gone above Blackburn. Granted, a couple of teams below us do have games in hand. But we're above West Brom, incredibly, and we've played the same amount of games. And they've been on a really good run of form. So positive times for Norwich. We could bounce all the way. I mean, we're a point now behind 3rd, which is just balmy, really. I think that the top 2 is probably gone. We're 15 points behind Sheffield United, which is unforgivable, really, considering we were winning 2-0 at Bramall Lane and miles above them when we played them. Oh, not miles above them, but I think we were above them when we played. And we were 2-0 up there as well. But this has been impressive from Norwich. Attacking, lots of chances. Defensively, yeah, for 20 minutes was chaotic, and Wagner will be really disappointed with the couple we conceded. But this second half performance has just been incredibly professional. And that's exactly what we needed. It's exactly what the doctor ordered. And already in a couple of games, we've shown some really differing, kind of unique showings of what we're about. And that's really positive going forward as we'll be, given some different assignments. So that's good. Richard says, Hernandez, man of the match. Yeah, there's a few up for man of the match today. Get your man of the matches in the comments, actually. Hernandez will be a likely winner. Got his goal, being really lively down the left. I think Kieran Dowell has pulled the strings brilliantly. Sargent and Pookie have both been lively. That's a nice problem to have, isn't it? Is trying to figure out your man of the match. We haven't had that problem too many times this season. Let me know who you think has been man of the match in the comments section. As Norwich looks to get a 5th here. Adam Eder down the left-hand side. It's very evident at this point that they just want to get this game over with. Adam Eder does really well there. And it's another really good option for Norwich to have this season. 6-2 wouldn't have been flattering, says Matty. No, you're quite right. You're quite right. Could have easily had a couple of others. I think we should have probably had a penalty as well. And let's not underestimate Coventry. Good side. Very good side. And we'll win plenty more games this season. And, well, for that first 25 minutes, we made them look like a pub team. Remarkable, really. Let's get one more comment before the end of this game then, and it's from William. He says, think Mum will be a great replacement if Aarons were to move on. Money for Rashica as well would give us decent budget. I think you're right. And I think you'd get good money for Max as well. Mumba looks the real deal, actually. And there we go. Game over. 4-2. What a win. What a win. For David Wagner's side, 8 goals in 2 games. What a turnaround it's been. And that is brilliant. Slight concern, Onel Hernandez sort of limping off the dugout bench and Pookie as well. But they won't worry about that. Lots of smiles, lots of happy campers there. And absolutely brilliant. Right, I'm going to go. My throat is an absolute bit. It feels like I'm swallowing bloody razor blades at the moment. Lots of people saying it should be Onel for man of the match. Can't disagree with that. Look, thanks so much for joining me for this watch along. I've really appreciated it. It's been brilliant speaking to you all. And I will see you probably tomorrow for a video, next week for podcasts. Happy days. The Wagnerlution is here and it is in full steam. See you later, everyone. Bye-bye.